I'm Amy.
And I'm Hannah.
And we're your passport tour guides. Today we're supposed to be giving you a tour of Galatia, but we're having a little trouble finding it.
Amy's right. We can't find Galatia. It's not so much that we're lost, but it's more like we don't even know where to go.
Oh, and you know, I would totally stop and ask directions from somebody, but we're just not lost.
Yeah, I don't think you've ever met a stranger before.
What are you trying to say, Hannah?
That you're the friendliest tour guide I know.
Oh, thanks. Okay, before you think we're bad tour guides, nobody really knows where Galatia is. And Galatia is different from other cities that we visited because Galatia refers to the whole region rather than one specific city.
Well, what makes it confusing is that Galatia could refer to two different regions. When Paul wrote the letter to the Galatians, he could have been referring to the region that was a province in Rome called Galatia. This province included several cities Paul started churches in and visited several times, but the people in those cities weren't usually called Galatians.
Or Galatia could be referred to an area of land north of that, where the people who lived there were called Galatians. And these people were immigrated from Gaul, and Gaul is in Western Europe.
Anyway, there's a lot of debate about which region Paul was talking about, and that's why we don't know where to go.
So since we don't know where to go, we could all go back to the tour bus, watch a movie, Hannah and I could tell jokes, or take a nap, or
we could talk a little more about the letter Paul wrote to churches in Galatia, even though we don't really know where they are. Since it's included in the Bible, it's probably an important letter.
You're right. Why don't you tell the group a little bit about the letter?
Okay, well, Paul's letter to the Galatians was handwritten, but if it was sent as an email or a text message, it'd be in all caps.
You mean he was yelling at the Galatians?
Yeah, he was angry with them.
You mean preachers get angry?
Sometimes. Apparently, Paul had started these churches and stayed with them a while before he left and traveled somewhere else. When he left, some other people came along and told the Galatians that Paul and the message he'd preached were wrong. He was really mad at those other people who were leading the Galatians astray. So Paul spends half the letter defending his credibility and the credibility of the message he preached.
Well, what's the second half of the letter about?
Let me try to do my best Braveheart impression. Freedom! Paul wrote that Jesus didn't die so we could be slave to rules, but he died so that we could be free and live by faith.
Hey, I know what we could do since we can't find Galatia to take a tour of it.
What's that?
Fireworks!
Fireworks?
Yeah, fireworks to celebrate freedom. Come on, I know that to properly celebrate freedom, Jesus brings, the freedom that Jesus brings, we should do the biggest fireworks show of all time. But it's not dark yet, and we don't have time to get a permit, so let's just do the best we can.
All right, I'm in.
We're your passport tour guides, Amy and Hannah. We would invite you to enjoy your stay in Galatia, but we're just going to enjoy the fireworks instead. Woo!
Perfect.
Oh, good timing too.
Real life.
Oh!
Let me do my best Braveheart impression. Freedom! Paul wrote that Jesus didn't.
That was awesome.
Let's just do the best we can.
All right, I'm in. Boom!